introduction about myself before I get started. And I see there are a lot of questions which are coming in. I'll answer some of those, and also take you in the direction wherein you can understand whether without having coding experience or without having any kind of experience, whether you are good to start with Hadoop or data analytics. Okay, so let me start by giving introduction about myself, and I'll take in a few questions before I start, and then after I'm through with that, I'll take you through the slides that I have. I'll also take you through some of the demos that I have prepared for you, and post that, I'll take some more questions from you. Okay, so I see a lot of folks have joined in, so let me get started straight away. It's 8 o'clock sharp, and here we go. My name is Yogendra, and I have 15 years of experience. Actually, you can say 15 plus years of experience. I have worked on big data and analytics for past little more than 6 years, but let me take that as 5 years now. I am a passionate speaker and Hadoop expert. I have had previous stints with global MNCs like Dell and more. Okay, so there you go. And hey guys, are you able to hear me? Okay, is there a, guys, are you able to hear me? Can you say yes, no? Hey guys, can you hear me? I think you guys can hear me. I'm not getting a response. I seem to see there is a problem, but I guess that has been fixed. So if you can hear me, you can say yes. Hey Ganesh, Mayank, Sai Kiran, Rajaram, can you guys hear me? Okay, I think yes. I'll continue then. Okay. 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 Thank you. So the objectives of the session are introduction to big data and Hadoop, understand concept of web and social media analytics using Hadoop, introduction to web analytics using Hadoop, introduction to social media analytics using Hadoop, and mostly everything is related to Hadoop. Okay, it's starting from big data analytics to web analytics. It's all using Hadoop. I'm also going to show you some of the real-time examples as to how you can use Hadoop. Okay, so moving on. So let me take a few questions and then let me get started. Okay, how to join in Bridge? I think Santanu, can you help these guys? They want to join in via Bridge. So if you have any questions, guys, you can ask me right now, and otherwise we'll just proceed. Okay, let me just proceed, and as and when you have questions, you can ask me. I'll respond to that in some time from now, but right now let me move on. Okay, big data and its challenges. Now, what's big data? Okay, what's big data? What's Hadoop? What's web analytics? Okay, big data and Hadoop. You must have heard about the 3 V's, the 4 V's. You must have also heard about a lot of analytics that's going on to very different spaces. You have also you might have also heard about machine learning, artificial intelligence, so on and so forth, right? But at the base of it, what do we have at the base of it? At the base of it, everything is data, right? We are trying to play around with data. We're trying to bring out intelligence from the data. We're trying to read the data, basically. We're trying to find out some information which is not visible via a naked eye. That's what we're trying to find out from the data. Okay, so, and how does big data help us? It helps us by ways of being able to slice being able to helps us via helping us to slice and dice the data. One, that's how it helps. It helps us to cleanse the data so that we bring data to a certain format via which we can feed it to some machine learning or some artificial intelligence program wherein we can get bigger picture. Okay, so okay, I see there are some questions coming in, but I'll not take that right now. Okay, so basically big data is a term for a collection of a data set so large and complex that it becomes difficult to process using on-hand database management tools or traditional data processing applications. Okay, it's not just the 3 V's that you have heard about: volume, velocity, and variety. It's not that. Just give me a second, folks. Okay. So it's not the 3 V's that you have seen: volume, velocity, variety, or even 4 V's, right? Veracity. It's not about that. Big data is not just about volume, velocity, and variety. Big data is much more than that. Big data is more about understanding what the data can provide you, understanding the valuable insight that data gives you. Let's say, for example, you have 30 years of data lying with you. I mean, let's say, for example, sales data. How does that help you overcome some of the challenges that you are facing? Let's say, for example, mostly in manufacturing industry, right? We have this problem of either over manufacturing, and then we go out and sell things, we give discount, we give one discount after another, and then we try to sell off all our stocks. It's about over manufacturing or under manufacturing, right? We have the demand, but there's no supply. I mean, how do we, with the help of so much data in our repository, make intelligent systems which are able to predict this in advance, and you are able to mitigate this problem? You know, that's a very big question we are trying to solve, and big data to a great extent helps us mitigate all this problem. Okay, and also look at the things around you. You know, look at everything around you. The mobile phone that you use, everyone uses smartphone, right? I'll give you a trivia on smartphone a little later, but everyone, let me give you the devices which generates data. The smartphone, the clicks, the likes on you know, Facebook, the Twitter chat, that's about social media, right? LinkedIn, etc. That's about social media. Also think about the submarines which is generating data. Think about the movies, that's also data. Think about the music, that's also data. Just take a step forward. Think about all the satellites that's generating data. Think about the robots, the Mars orbiter, you know, and deep sea navigation system. Think about all those RFIDs, you know, all those things. I mean, there is not even a single thing as of today which does not generate data, and those data are huge. And do you think that they, when I talk about data, right, you might be thinking of data as something which exists in database. If you have no experience whatsoever with Hadoop or unstructured data, let me tell you, the data that's lying there in database, be it Oracle, be it DB2, be it MySQL, be it SQL Server, be it Teradata, that's not even 10% of the total data that we have. And just to give you a fact, right, the amount of data that we have generated till today, in maybe 6 months to one year time, we'll be generating that data every day. Okay, so that's the amount of data that we are generating on daily basis. It's huge. It's just petabyte, zettabyte, exabyte, just any byte, right? It's so much of data, you can't even count the number of zeros behind that byte of data. So we're talking about huge amount of data, and you know, traditional system, be it, I mean, you might be thinking, if you have background in IBM, some of you would have definitely worked on IBM, right? So you might be thinking, why can't massively parallel processing servers, you know, process all this data? Yeah, to a great extent, you are right. Some of the data might be, you know, massively parallel processing system or supercomputers might be able to solve some of the problem, but not all problem. The amount of data that is being generated as of today, it might be able to solve today's problem. I mean, I'm taking the best case. It might be able to solve today's problem, but not in near-term future. The amount of data that we are generating on daily basis is so huge that it can submerge the entire IT system that we have today. So, and also I read this white paper wherein it says that the invention of big data technologies or the ecosystem of big data is even greater than the invention of electricity in 19th century. I mean, that's a big term to use, but the impact that big data and its ecosystem is going to have in our lives is immense. It will be bigger than the invention of electricity in 19th century. That's what they say. I mean, the data scientists, the architects of bigger systems, they say that. Okay, I'm not making up for you now. So now moving on. Okay, how do we manage such huge data? I mean, who generates this big data? Just to give you a trivia, after I gave you all this information, right? Everyone, all of us do some shopping in Amazon.com, right? We do some shopping in, let's say, Flipkart, Amazon, Alibaba, where not, right? We just do shopping for ourselves these days more online than in brick and mortar store right next to our houses or our apartment. So it so happens that whenever you go to one of these websites, right? Let's say you want to buy a T-shirt, okay? As soon as you select a sports T-shirt, it recommends that why don't you buy a sports pant or jeans pant, right? Because you just bought a T-shirt, it suggests that you buy a jeans pant, and then you put that, let's say, in a cart, and it so happens that there is a pop-up which says that if you buy shoe along with this, you get a discount of 20%. Right? How many of you have seen this? I'm sure most of you would have seen this, right? If not, just let me know, okay? If not, just go ahead and try to do some kind of shopping today, and you'll realize. I mean, how come those systems? And then, let's say, for example, how many of you have seen this? You go to Amazon.com, you try to buy a shoe, and then you don't buy it. You just get out of Amazon.com. You go into Facebook. You start browsing Facebook, and suddenly on the right hand side in corner, the same ad pops up saying that buy this shoe, take away 10% discount, and so on and so forth. How many of you have seen that? Right? I'm sure some of you have seen that, isn't it, guys? So that's, yeah, absolutely. See, Mayank says that he has seen that happening. Yep, Karthik, you too have seen that, right? Okay, so that's nothing but that's recommendation engine. Okay, recommendation engine of big data, machine learning built together. They are giving you all those data. Okay, now who generates? Coming back to the question. Okay, Sai, Karthik, you all have seen that, right? Coming back to who generates big data, it's not just Google, Facebook, LinkedIn. There are many more other applications. Everything that you see, anything that you hold today, everything is generating data, from your phones to the RFIDs to even these days, and any intelligent system, and anything that we call a smart, quote unquote, is generating data for us. Now, moving on, Hadoop can be used for easy processing such as huge data. We'll answer how. Okay. Before that, let's understand what's Hadoop. Okay. Yep. I understand that you have seen that, right? So moving on, let's understand what is Hadoop, and then we'll dig a little deeper. Okay. Hadoop and its characteristics. Now that I have given you all kinds of examples, right? Now, what's exactly Hadoop, and how does it help solve a problem? Okay. Hadoop is nothing but Apache Hadoop is a framework that allows the distributed processing of large data sets across cluster of commodity computers using a simple programming model, right? A lot of words in it. So in simplistic term, Hadoop, what it does is, instead of you buying those expensive servers, those expensive machines, what Hadoop does is that it lets you process this data that I've been talking about in commodity hardware. When I talk about commodity hardware, it can be as simple as your laptops, right, or your desktop that you might have it at your home. We connect this 100 desktop together or laptops together, and it becomes a 100 cluster commodity hardware, right? using this 100 cluster commodity hardware, we might be able to do something as powerful as a $1 million massively parallel processing system can do. So the price of computation has come down. Okay. Okay. Just a second. I think. Source data management, it's open source data management technology with scale out storage and distributed processing. Basically, economical because we are talking about our commodity hardware, right? It's reliable because instead of one system that we have, we can have multiple backup systems, which in case of the failure of main system can take over from us. We call this as replication factor in Hadoop. So by default, the replication factor is free, and so if one system fails, we have 3 systems backing up. It's scalable. It's scalable in the sense that if you were to have a hardware, right? I'm sure you might be working. All of you might be working in some organization or the other, and you might see that for certain application, you get an email on your inbox on, let's say, Friday evening saying that this system might not be available because because there is a downtime to it. Okay, they say that because we have a maintenance from this time from 3 a.m. to 10 p.m. and hence this application will not be available. So scalability is a big problem when it comes to those massive servers. You know, if you have to add memory, if you have to add storage to it, you need to bring down the entire system, add memory or add storage to it, and then bring it online, right? That's the problem with many of the existing systems that we have. With Hadoop, none of this is required. Okay, with Hadoop, scalability is not a problem. It's more like adding an IP address to the already existing list of files, and it's extremely flexible because of all these reasons. It's extremely flexible. You can process multiple program in one server. If you want to process one with multiple mappers and reducers, you can do that. If you want to distribute mappers and reducers across many programs, you can do that, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, so moving on. Okay. Moving on, now Hadoop ecosystem. This is an ecosystem, it looks a little complicated, but trust me, this is an easy ecosystem. We have at the top of it, we have Apache Uzi, which is nothing but workflow. If you have worked on Control M, AutoSys, Cron Tab, Windows Scheduler, and any other kind of scheduler, right? If you have worked on any other kind of scheduler, Apache Uzi is one of those scheduler in Hadoop ecosystem. And then we have HBase to store your data in columnar format. So you have seen the data in row format as of today, but HBase is something which stores data in columnar format. You have Hive, Pig. Okay, Hive and Pig are pretty similar. Hive is a data warehouse system, whereas Pig is used for data analytics. Now, Hive was developed by Facebook during the same time when Pig was being created by Yahoo. I'm going to file a few queries in Hive for you. So if you have no experience on Hadoop whatsoever, if you have no experience on other programming language, let's say you have written even one line of code in SQL till now, you can definitely go ahead and start learning Hadoop. It will not be that difficult. Okay, and then behind all Hadoop, behind Hive, there's a MapReduce framework. If you look at my diagram, behind Hive and Pig, there's MapReduce framework, and it sits on top of Yarn, which is called yet another resource negotiator. This is with Hadoop 2.0. With Hadoop 2.1, Yarn is not available, and hence, this portion is eliminated. So, and then you have everything sits on top of HDFS, okay? And also you have Scoop and Flume. Scoop is nothing but a tool which would pull out data from structured databases like Oracle, SQL, any kind of Oracle, DB2, MySQL, SQL Server, etc. Whereas Flume can pull data from your, let's say, social media. Basically, it will pull out streaming data. Okay. So guys, if you have any questions at this time, do let me know. Okay. So let me also talk a little more about Hive. See, let me take you through some of the queries in Hive. Okay. See, I've logged in into Hive. I have first of all connected to my Hadoop. Okay. And then from that Hadoop, I have connected into Hive, and let's see now how Hive looks like. So tables. It will show me all the list of tables. Okay. Yep, Mayank, you have worked on control M. Okay. Yep, I have changed the PPT screen to something else, to Hive screen. If you're not able to see that, do let me know, guys. We are seeing only understand Hadoop screen only. Okay. The screens are not moving on time. It's a bit difficult to understand the term. Yes, Mayank, I understand that it will be a little difficult right now for you to understand the terms that I am using right now. But trust me, Hadoop is as easy as as much as difficult you might. Start from statement. Okay. Okay, just a second, guys. I'm just trying to make people see my screen. No, freeze on last one process showing my screen. People can see your screen. I don't think I have a problem sharing my screen. Okay, Rami. I'm not sure as to why that's happening, guys. But are you able to see my screen, Rami Reddy? I mean the select query. Okay, not sure about that. Okay, guys, I'm still waiting for you to respond. Are you able to see my screen, guys? Karthik, Manish, Arnab? Okay, I think there's a lag between what I'm saying and what you guys are listening. So anyways, I'll move forward, okay? So if you look at this, right, select star is pulling out data as simply as selection from a table. It's as simple as that. Okay. Now let's see as to what this table has. Okay. If I say describe, okay, if I say describe table, and then it gives me the structure of the table. Okay. If I also say describe formatted test employee, now you see this, it will tell me as to where the data is actually stored. Now see guys, I'm not doing anything here. Okay, I just say select star from employee and then I get this data. I'm just trying to look into the structure of the table, wherein I say describe this table, and then it gives me name is of type string, salary is of type float, and date hour is of type int. And then I say describe formatted test employee. When I use this term formatted, it gives me further details. Okay, it says name, salary, partition name is column, column name, and so on and so forth. The most important thing here is the location. Okay, so this means that the data in Hadoop is stored as a flat file, right? In Hive, it's also stored as a flat file in Hive. You can, although you can read the data from JSON or XML database, let's not go there. Okay, so if I just, if I say ls, use some of the Linux commands, and let's see as to what's there. Okay, it's, I have to, sorry, I have to use Hadoop FSLS. So it will show me the list of files from where I'm accessing. This is the place from where I am accessing data in my table. Okay. So it's that easy, guys. I mean, Hadoop is no big deal. If you have even fired one line of SQL query in your life, you'll be able to just run Hadoop as simple as you were running the RDBMS or SQL queries. Okay, that's one thing. Moving on. So if you see this, right, it's the syntax is exactly the same as SQL queries. Okay, so if you, let's say for example, if you want to select sum, if you want to do count, etc., it's exactly the same. Okay, Manish, thank you. Okay, so if you want to select the data, you can fire select query. If you want to do a group by, you can do group by. If you want to filter it, you can use where clause. It's Hive is as, it's same as your normal SQL. Okay, so if you know normal SQL, you'll be able to play around or work on Hadoop. Okay, that's one thing. And then even if you don't know normal SQL, that's still fine. Normal SQL is easy. You'll be able to learn it in 5 to 10 days, and you can still start working on Hive with basic, keeping in mind basic concepts. Okay, so okay, Ellen. Now moving on. Okay, now moving on, I just want to show you something as well. That was about Hive. Let me close this. Okay, I'll just close my screen, and I want to open and show you something else as well on web analytics. Okay, exit, power off. Let me shut down the system. Okay, I'm just shutting down the system. Then I open one more. Okay, that's gone. Okay, now let me open my Windows PyCharm, wherein I want to show you something related to web analytics. Okay, in the meantime, let me tell you the top 5 interview questions in Hadoop, right? What is the use of name node in HDFS? So basically in Hadoop, there are 5 daemons, okay, that you need to remember, and everything is of master-slave architecture, master-slave and nothing said architecture. Now, name node is your master, whereas your data node is slave. Job tracker is your master, whereas task tracker is your slave. So everything is master-slave architecture, and nothing is said in between. And these are top 5 interview questions. What's the use of name node in HDFS? Basically, name node has all the metadata. It controls the way everything else functions in Hadoop. So this is one of the top 5 interview questions that's almost always asked in an interview. In an interview. Okay. What is data node in HDFS? So similar to name node storing all the metadata, data node stores all your data. Okay. And for the first time, let's say, I mean, this question would logically come to your mind, right? Because I've been saying that with Hadoop, you process huge amounts of data, right? Gigabytes, petabytes, zettabytes of data. How is it that actually stored? And then I also told you that this will be processed using normal commodity hardware, right? How does that happen? So as soon as you copy this amount of data in Hadoop, it so happens that the data gets split over multiple data nodes, okay, and then it is in that data node the data gets processed. What is data node in SDFS? When someone asks you this question, it's basically literal meaning of what data means, right? Data node in SDFS stores data. It's as simple as that. What is job tracker? It's again, it's English literal translation. The translation of job tracker is a job which tracks the progress of what's happening to each of this data node, right? How does it do that? It does it with the help of task tracker, okay? So you'll have to go into little detail, but these are simple concepts which can be understood with little help. And what is MapReduce? Yeah, this is a good question wherein people might trick you. They might ask you a little complicated problem on MapReduce, but at the end of the day, MapReduce is made out from mapper and reducer, wherein map parallelizes the task, it splits the task, and reducer aggregates the task. So it's again simple, and in order to know MapReduce, you might have to even know a little bit of functional programming, which is based on which MapReduce has been written. But that's like that's the easy part of programming. So when you write a program, slice it to bring the program to the basic level wherein you think from the starting point. Let's say from zero you start thinking of a program, right? That's what is called as functional programming. Okay, you slice it to a single expression function. You slice the program to one expression per line, and that becomes your functional programming. So it can be explained, but because of lack of time, I'm not going to explain you as to what functional programming is. But MapReduce is based out of functional programming, and it's extremely easy form of programming. Okay, and so you'll be able to understand it with little help. How does a Hadoop application looks like on the basic component? It's again Hadoop has 5 daemons, mappers, reducers, and you can draw an architecture diagram and so as to how that looks like. Let me take a few questions right now that people are firing in. Okay, I'm still in querying table. Okay. Okay. Screens are freezing, says Karthik. I'm not sure as to why the problem is, but I am in the window querying. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. I mean, if you are facing problems seeing the screen, that's fine. If you're able to hear me, I think that should be okay. If you're able to hear me, that's more important than seeing the screen actually. Okay. So those are the top 5 interview questions. Now, if you look at the job trends of Hadoop, right, it's just going up and up and up. From January, it all started on January 2007. From there on, the job has just spiked. It was slow on January 8, and then it went on and on. January 13, towards the mid of January 13 and 14, it peaked. It came down a little bit, and then it's still going on. So I would say this based on my experience. There is very high demand of Hadoop professional. Okay, there is very high demand of Hadoop professional, but then when we interview people, they don't even know basics of Hadoop. So out of 100 people that we interview, only almost 2 to 3 are hireable. Okay, that's the maximum that people are hireable. People do study, I mean, but they don't study to the depths and come for an interview and hence flunk. But then, trust me when I say this, I say with a lot of experience that if you are going to study Hadoop, it's not that difficult, and with little bit of effort in 3 to 4 months, you should be good to crack any interview. It's not rocket science. It's extremely simple. So let me also take you through one of the programs that I have written. Guys, can you see my screen? Okay. Okay, Arnav says yes. I don't know Java. Okay, will it be impactful for learning MapReduce? Okay, so let me. Hey Vivekanand, let me tell you that this with a lot of experience. You don't need to know Java in order to. You can set up it from basic. You can go to Apache's website, download the software and install it, or also you can go to Cloudera and if you want to download their VMs, you can still do that. But then you would still need some inputs from someone, some help from if any. Okay, Mayank, there is a Cloudera certification if you want to do but that is it used to be $600 at some point in time, but I think it's now close to $1,000. Yes, Sairam, my experience has been that if you are good and then if you have learned Hadoop for some time and if you are good with it, why not? I mean, you know, basically all the candidates that come for Hadoop interview, right, they are fresher in the field of Hadoop. So why not just a college pass out? Okay. Okay. Where can I experiment with Hadoop on the cloud itself? Okay, for that either you have to, you know, either you have to be associated with Amazon Web Services. Oh, okay. Mayank, is it good now? Either you have to subscribe to Amazon Web Services or one of these organizations where the data is in cloud. You can talk to our support at Skillspeed and they'll be able to guide you on this as well. Okay. Okay, Manish. Okay. So moving on, guys. Now, okay, what's the scope for tester in Hadoop? Vijay, there is a lot of scope for tester in Hadoop because we don't find a good developer. Like I told you, right? In 100, there are hardly 2 to 3 people who can be actually hired. So the scope of tester is growing very fast. Okay. So if you intend to learn Hadoop, Vijay, I think that's a good start because the scope of tester is going up day by day. I can see that according to Gartner, there will be almost 200,000 jobs which is going to be added in big data space alone. Okay, big data and analytics alone in another 2 to 3 years. I don't know. So that's the Gartner number. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of jobs coming up, and many of those are coming here to India. So you be prepared for it when it arrives. And actually, it has already started coming. I see that every startup, every big organization are working on Hadoop right now. Okay, Sandeep, I think. Okay, can I use, yes, Krishna, you can use HD Insights as well, but then they will have little different syntax. Okay, if I were you, I would start with using basic Apache Hadoop or maybe Cloudera. Those are the most famous ones. Well, I have 2 years of experience in data stage. Sandeep, that's good time to start on Hadoop. If you start now, 6 months from now, you should be good. Also, how we need to prepare for interview, these are my 2 questions. Okay, question 2. Okay, see, first of all, you need to be very clear on your basics, Karthik. Okay, Okay, and also Yogendra, could you please answer the questions I asked? That's regarding interview, right, Karthik? So fundamentally, you need to be very clear on your basics, and also never understate what you know and never overstate what you don't know. Basically, for example, if I were to be interviewing you, and then if I asked you as to what do you know, you say you know Hive. You rather know Hive very well, okay? And then you say I don't know pig, right? That's totally fine. But if you say I know one thing, you rather know that well. That way, because there are very less candidates, we are very lenient and flexible while hiring people. That's what I've seen. I've seen my colleagues. I've seen many people, right? We are very lenient at hiring people right now because there are no many people with a lot of skills in Hadoop technologies right now. So if it is right now, maybe a 1-2 month study with a little bit of coaching will help you land up a good job. How to link social media stream as data source? Okay, that's one example that I'm going to show you in some time. Manish, see, social media is an upcoming field wherein you will need to pull data from, let's say, it's not just about, let's say, for example, let me give an example, okay. If I were to be analyzing on a particular product, okay, let's say I manufacture computers, right. If I were to be a computer manufacturer, I would not just rely on the data that I have in my database. I would also look into social media and go ahead and find out as to what people are saying about my product. Let's say, for example, I produced a Bio laptop, right? I would sell that based on that information, that forecasting, the sell information. I would have a lot of data available with me at that point in time. But let's say, for example, I go out in social media and I try to find out as to, what people are saying about my product. So I would go there and collate all those data of what people are giving me feedback. Based on that, I'll be able to find out as to where I am heading. If I get negative feedback or I have negative sentiments, what I do is I take that input, I make changes in my product, and I implement it. If someone is saying my the Bio laptop battery is heating very fast, that's a negative comment. I'd rather fix my product. So it's an upcoming field, and that's going to be crazy in come time. That's what I see. Social media analytics is going to be a big thing. Okay, what's the best source of prepare and go for it? What's a good tool for testing big data? So there is no tool as such. There are unit test cases, R unit, MR unit, etc. There are some of the packages which are available. But in order to do that, Mayank, the best thing to start with is start with learning Hadoop and big data, and then after you have learned that, you go on to do testing for that. So first thing first, learn big data and then move on to testing big data. So in order to do anything, right, even in order to do a basic application, first you need to know the feature of application. Until unless you have learned a little bit of Hadoop, it will be very hard for you to design program which test Hadoop programs. So that's how it is. How much right course duration of Hadoop and charges? So I think Santanu has already responded to it. Vikram, what about mainframe background? Oh, Karthik, I think being from a mainframe background is a big help. Okay, I've seen that you guys do programming from a basic level. I mean, there is nothing available in mainframe, right? You don't know anything about all those functions that we write. So your logical thinking is very good as compared to any other programmers. Okay, Karthik. So it's I think it's very good. I've seen many people from mainframe background, learning Hadoop and becoming a data scientist. I've seen that myself, and trust me, I'm not kidding. I know a very close friend of mine who was in mainframe background till a year back, learned Hadoop and 6 months he's a data scientist in very renowned company. Okay, that's but then his his IQ is very high. His logical reasoning is extremely good, and he says that it's all because of mainframe. So it's not that bad, Karthik. I'm having 2 years of experience as Java programmer. Shall I go for Hadoop? Okay, because I think if you already have experience in Java, why not? Because Hadoop is completely built on top of Java. So go for it, man. you'll be able to do it, and it will not take much time for you to adapt to Hadoop because you already know Java, you already know the basics of it. Some of us might to learn a little bit of conceptual Java, but for you, you already know it. So you'll be able to do it in no time. I'm basically from Python background, which is better, admin or developer. I don't know Java. If you already know Python, Krishna, you are already in advantageous position because everyone is trying to move to Python these days. So there is an interface of Python. There is an interface of Hadoop for Python. You can write all your mapper and reducer code in Python. So it's extremely easy for you. You don't have to concentrate on admin or developer. Just go for the basic Python course first. Okay. And in basics, you'll be taught to be an admin as well. After that, I think you can choose whichever field you want. I think you will be a better developer in my in my assessment than an admin because of your Python background. No problem, Karthik. What are the main difference between relational data warehouse and big data? Absolutely, it's like it's a huge difference, Hina. You cannot compare a relational data warehouse and big data at all. There is no comparison. Relational data warehouse, it's all stored in database, it's structured data, whereas big data has no structure to the data. It can take in relational data, it can take in non-relational data, it can take in JSON data, it can take in unstructured data, so on and so forth. So database, we should not be comparing big data with database at all. Database can be a part of big data, but big data cannot be a part of database. That's how I see it. Okay. I'm from Oracle background. I can work on ASP.NET. So if you are from Oracle background, you already know Oracle, PL SQL, and SQL. You'll be able to, in 3 to 4 days, you'll be able to start programming in Hive, Karthik. That's how much time you need. Absolutely, Karthik. It's meant for you. There is Hive, and you can start with Hive and then slowly move on to your map and reducer. You can also write your map and reducer in ASP.NET. So if you know any one of the programming language, you're good with it, man. Okay. Akansa, yes, there is quite a scope for tester. Okay, it's huge actually. There is so much of vacuum between developers and tester in big data space that you cannot imagine right now. So in any organization as of today, as a developer, having developed so many things in the past, I see that we have developers in Hadoop, even though they are less in numbers. We don't have testers. Okay, and testers are supposed to think like developer. That's one thing. If you were to give an interview in Google or Facebook for a tester, you'll be interviewed exactly like a developer. So know Hadoop thoroughly and then think of becoming a tester. Okay. I mean, of course, you are a tester already. If you are a tester already, that's fine. But you have to think like a developer in order to test it well. So I would say learn from the basics, start Hadoop, and then branch yourself out to be a tester. Okay, Vikram says you know PHP, .NET, and right now I'm a PHP developer, so it's easy to learn Hadoop. Yes, Vikram, no problem at all. If you know PHP, you know MySQL as well, right? If I'm not wrong, PHP and MySQL go hand in hand. So it's easy, man. It's not that difficult. Yep. See, I got it right. So, anyways, it's easy, Vikram. Like I told, right? You'll be able to adapt to Hive easily in no time. Okay, and Karthik, what basically we derive in Hadoop when compared to data warehouse, because we do analysis in data warehouse too, right? Okay, in Hadoop is actually, the way to look at you'll have to unlearn whatever you have learned in data warehouse, Karthik, in order to learn Hadoop. Okay, Hadoop is unlike traditional database or data warehouse, right? In Hadoop, you don't create a banking or insurance application. You try to create an analytics out of it. Okay, you try to create a program or analytics wherein you can look at business insight and then take better decision. It's more like a decision support system. It's more like a replacement to business intelligence that we have. Okay. Okay, guys. Moving on. Now you see this. There is so I'll just take you through one of the things that I have. Okay. Now see here all this program does is you pass some data. Let's say, for example, Nike and Reebok. Okay, and then I say pull 10 tweets. It logs into Twitter and then pulls out tweet information from this website. Okay, so if you look at this program that I have written here, see it has logged in into Twitter right now. It's waiting for Twitter to give you data. That's a proper handshake that is being done at the back end. Now after that is done, it so happens that it will pull out all the data which is related to Nike and Reebok, and then after a point in time it will also start doing sentiment analysis. So this is web analytics. Okay, this is social media analytics that I'm talking about right now. Let this run. In the meantime, when this is over, I'm going to show you as to what it has pulled and what kind of analytics it has done. In the meantime, I'll give you an idea of what the course would be like. Okay, free trial for Hadoop and Big Data courses is 3+ hours of training material. That's what we are going to provide at Skillspeed. Access to quizzes and assignment. You'll have real classroom experience. Someone like me will be teaching in the background, wherein you can ask a lot of questions and they'll be answered. There'll be personal counseling sessions as well. On top of that, you can go ahead. You can also go ahead and activate your free trial now. Go to skillspeed.com. You click on your free trial, and then you'll get free trial. Once you have, once you are authorized in this course, once you get access to this course also, and once you become a student of it formally, you'll also get lifetime access to the learning management system over here, and and you can ask your questions forever. Okay, let's say for example, while working you face some problem XYZ, you can come back, ask. There are a pool of instructors who have huge experiences here who will be able to help you out. Okay, and the course curriculum has been developed from industry expert. There is instructor-led live virtual session, 100% placement assistance is what you'll get here, lifetime access to course content, and 24/7 support. Okay, and these are the numbers if you want to contact. Okay, in the end we have image references as well. We'll be providing you with the PPTs later on after the class is over. We'll be sending you these emails, and you can also ask your questions even after the class is over. Okay. Now let's go and see. Okay. Now it's still trying to connect. Actually, not sure whether the proper handshake is happening or not. But the program that I have written here, it might take a little more time. What I would give you a background as to what this is doing. It's going, connecting to Twitter, and then trying to pull out tweets from Twitter. Okay, that's what it's trying to do. It might take some time, but then it's going to pull us data. So you can write a program which can pull data from Twitter. You can write a program which can pull data from Facebook. You can write a program which can pull the data from various blogs that we have written, do natural language processing, and so on and so forth. So the limit is endless. All you have to do is put a little bit of effort, learn a little more things, and you'll be good. At least at the end of it, I can safely say that you'll be hireable. Okay, that's all. Okay, Vijay, if you could ask your question once again. Yes, Manish, what I would do is send us an email. I'll send this code and then you can run it for yourself. Okay. Hey, Kingsley, it's not only it's not good enough to learn only MapReduce. Okay, let's say you want to optimize it, right? You want to optimize it. Only MapReduce will not help you there. You'll have to learn a little bit about functional programming. You'll have to learn a little bit about setting up the jobs, and a little bit, and extensively MapReduce. So you'll have to learn everything on its periphery plus MapReduce. That's how you'll be able to write Hadoop program. And because you already know Java, I think you're already good with it. So as a tester, I need to concentrate in Hadoop, and is there any specialized testing in Hadoop? Yes, there is specialized. I would not call it as specialized testing, but there are testing modules in Hadoop using which you can write your unit test cases or other kinds of test cases, Vijay. Thank you, Arnav. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Okay, guys, that's about it. If you have any further questions, do let me know. Or you can contact us on this number 9060200904, or you have toll-free number, or visit us at www.skillspeed.com. Okay. So if you have any questions, get back to us. We'll also be sharing with you this webinar. If you have any further questions, do let me know, and we'll get back to you on that. Okay. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.